Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes Weekly Webisodes. I'm Lene Gehrig, and today I've got the most adorable stamps from our friends at Crafters Companion. These are the Christmas tree sentiment stamps. I can't wait to show you what I did with them. I was up late last night. So this first stamp, as you can see, it's in a tree shape, and this one is called the Holly Jolly Christmas Tree. And here is a sweet little card I made with this one. It's got this, first of all, I love to stamp, I should mention, with the Hunky Dory Lightweight Essential Card Block. It's got a great big stack of wonderful white cardstock, colors beautifully, takes ink beautifully, so I'm going to start with that. Of course, I love to use my MISTI stamping platform. That makes this process very simple and really great for just sort of mass producing Christmas cards. If you find a design you like and you want to make 4 or 5 at a time, that's a great tool to be using. So anyway, I stamped it, and then because I did add a little, alcohol ink here, I want to use ink pads that react well with that. So I used Memento Tuxedo Black. You can also use the Finesse by Spectrum Noir alcohol proof ink. And the reason for that is when you're coloring in, these are Spectrum Noir tri-blend markers. This is a dull green. When you're coloring in these little open areas right here, you don't want this ink to react with the black ink and just be muddy and messy. So those are the kind of ink pads you want to use. So also I wanted to show you the background paper that I used. This is also from Crafters Companion, and this is a colored luxury mirror card pad, really. And it's got these fantastic, look at these. They're 12 by 12, you get 36 pieces. These are, I don't know if you can really see, that's like, oh, there you go, there's the red. And this brilliant green, of course I use this holly. Isn't that gorgeous? And this blue, there we go. Beautiful fuchsia pink. Like that. And look at this one, these are pretty much 6 by 6 cards, just done. Just cut them out, put them on a 6 by 6 card, and you're set. All right. So I used that, and then I also used some brand new glitter cardstock that we've got. This is from Hot Off the Press. I used a strip of the red one. That's all I really needed, is just a little strip there. And then I just cut my white cardstock down. I inked the edge with a little bit of red ink, and then I added just a little bit of red ink, and then I added some Stickles glitter glue. Got to have that in your stash. So I had red and gold, and then of course a cute little bow using the Velvet Shimmer glitter ribbon. All right, so let's move on to the next one. So many cards to show you today. So this one is a 6 by 6, and this one uses the Merry and Bright tree stamp. It's this one right here. And as you can see, I stamped this 3 times and just alternated colors here. And I sort of cut it into that tree shape, and I wanted to show you how easy that was to do. I should say too, I took my 6 by 6 card, available at Paper Wishes. These are from Hunky Dory, comes with coordinating envelope, and I just inked that using a blender brush and evergreen ink pad, and I just sort of went around the edges and left the center, a little lighter ink, and then cut one of those strips from my fantastic mirror paper and just glued that right across the top. And then when I was cutting these down, went ahead and stamped them on my paper, and I'm sure there's like a mathematical way to do this, something from geometry, but I just eyeballed it with my paper trimmer. I just got my angle the way I wanted it, made sure I didn't cut off the little angel at the top. Just went like that, and then did the same on this side. There we go. It was really easy. So yes, I'm sure there was a different way to do that, but that's how I did it. And then I just sort of inked the edges here and glued these two down foam tape there. And then I added a little star on top. This is from Patriotic Stars Sparklets. And I just grabbed a couple of the red ones out of there. Okay, and then also I wanted to show you for this same stamp, I also made an ornament, and this isn't a tree shape at all. So for this, I used the Fancy Rectangles chipboard, and I just took a red, this is a red brick, used my blender brush again, went around that, and then I put this in my stamping platform. Gonna need 2 magnets for this, so of course without the bow on it. And I just sort of wedged that in just like that, so it was nice and tight. And then went ahead and stamped right on that using that black ink, but I did not ink this part where it says bright. So I stamped it once, then cleaned off my stamp, and then I wanted to do some embossing, so I just stamped some Wow embossing, used my Wow embossing pad to put some embossing ink on that. That's just clear ink. Stamped it again, and then sprinkled that with gold embossing powder, and then used a heat gun to heat that. And then once I did that, I went around and I did the same thing on the edges of the ornament. I just sort of took my ink pad and went like this around the edges and just drug it through a little bit of the embossing powder that was on a piece of paper and heated that. And then I wasn't really pleased with how my stamp here, it wasn't really showing up as much as I would have liked it. So I just took a Sharpie pen and I just did like one side or an edge on each letter. I didn't do everything. I didn't outline it. I just sort of brought out some of those details there. Just like that. And then there. And then I was much happier with just sharpened it up a little bit, really. Okay, so there's that one. And then this last one, I think might be my favorite. So for this one, I started off with a 6x6 card, and then I trimmed away 1 inch from the side, and then I also trimmed about 1.5 inches from the front only, so that it was narrower, but then I also was able to have this nice cutaway. And then I covered the top with some of this great mirror paper, the snowflake. And then for the bottom, I just used some of this great cardstock from Hot Off the Press and just cut a strip and put it down the side, down across the bottom, and then used some teal jewel border dazzle just at the top and at the bottom. So it had a nice finished pretty edge, and it brought that color there too. And as for my stamp, that's what this one looks like right here. And this one is the most wonderful tree sentiment stamp. Stamped that on cardstock, inked the edges after I cut that out with a little bit of, here we go, Arctic Mist. And then colored in the details using another tri-blend marker. This was blue turquoise blend. And then just added a couple of dots of Stickles silver, so it had some nice little glitter there. And then I took one of those Patriotic Stars, the blue ones, and I glued that on the top. So yeah, fun to put together and pretty quick and easy. So you guys, we've got a great money saver on all of this. And I would really encourage you, if you haven't checked out our money saver, it is on the right hand side of the screen there. And if you are interested in all the products that were used and shopping, I don't know, this and that, just look at the products used drop down menu below the video. And there's also a photo gallery below the video with full color pictures and supply lists. And if you're watching us on YouTube, just check out the link below the video and it'll take you right back to paperwishes.com. So thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.